morning, Althea. Can we give her a stand one last time? That was just beautiful. Welcome. If I haven't met you, it's your last day to do so. My name is Katherine Newell, and I am the spiritual director of the Althea Center. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making magic in this space with me every single Sunday. It wouldn't be the same without each and every one of you. So thank you. If this is your first time here, we'll have a special acknowledgement for you later on in the service. But it's a little bit different today because it's my last one. So we're gonna have a little bit of maybe some tears, maybe some laughter, and a hell of a lot of fun, right? That's how we do. The sage singers are here. Yes! I am so happy that they are back. The first time I saw them here was my installation day. So I'm glad they're back today. A couple reminders just off the top. Please turn off your cell phones and listen for a higher call. I also want to acknowledge the Arapaho, the Ute, and the Cheyenne peoples. This is their indigenous land that we are currently residing on, and it's important that we name the people whose lives matter, their legacy matters, who they were, who they are, who they continue to be, really matters. So just want to take a moment, if you can, and breathe this land acknowledgement in. This is a sacred space, and it's made even more holy by the land underneath it. Thank you for holding space with me. A couple of just generic announcements. Someone left his keys on the way in. So if this is you, if you're like, oh, I did lose keys, then you can come to Sarma, our volunteer coordinator actually, in the back. Can I hand these to you, Sarma? And if you need them, she will have them for you. Yeah. Also, if you did not get 2 sticky notes on your way in, raise your hand. Make sure you get some. Oh, see one hand here. So the ushers will come find you. You should have a big one and a little one. Everyone good? All right. Details to be known later. All right. Lastly, I don't know if you know, it's Pride Month. Yes. My favorite month of the year. Not only is the weather great, but queer people are just the freaking best, aren't we? What a blessed time to celebrate who exactly we are. I want to educate you if you do not know the real history of how Pride started. It started as a riot. It started by a Black trans woman who was also a sex worker, and her name was Marsha P. Johnson. Yes, give it up for Marsha P. Johnson. She is a phenomenal ancestor who led the way when it cost her a lot, nearly everything. And so we name her in this space as one of our sacred ancestors. We do the community work that we do, the activism that we do, the acknowledgement and the alignment with queer folks because and with and through her legacy that we celebrate Pride. So don't listen to the Coors Light Pride Parade thing and focus on the real celebration that cannot be bought or sold. The queerness is about the beyond. That thinking queer, that being queer, living out and proud is the coolest, most awesome thing that we can do, and it doesn't have only to do with your sexuality, it has to do with so much more. And so I empower you this day and every day, and not just during the month of June, to not just be an ally, be an advocate, and be an accomplice. We are in this together, and our liberation is bound up together. And the more we queer life, the better it'll be for us all. Yes. On that note, I invite our very queer president of the board, Bob Burkhoff, to give us our opening prayer.
Okay, enough jollity. I would just invite everyone to do what we call join together in consciousness. We don't have to know how to do that. All we have to do is just set an intention, and it happens. It's like what one of my teachers called the principle of diving. If we want to dive into a swimming pool, we just run out to the end of the diving board, jump, and point. We don't have to make ourselves go downward. We don't have to ask the water to open up to receive us, because that just happens naturally. That's part of life. All we have to do is have the intention. So if you're comfortable and just relaxing for a minute, closing your eyes maybe, and just allow the attention to gently and easily come to your breath. And I often remember that it is not me who's doing the breathing in my body, it is life. Life is breathing me. I can change the way it happens, slow, fast, quick, deep, shallow. But that breath is the breath of life, and it is life breathing me. And that breath supports me on the inside of my very being, and also on the outside. It surrounds me with its love, with its joy, with its abundance, with its creativity, life itself. And we can say that there is only one life, one power, one love, one light. And that's all there is. This light, this love, this power, this joy. And even at those times when I might not be able to clearly see this light, or feel this joy, this love, I know that deep inside of me, at the very center of my being, at the core of my existence, is where this resides. And I know it resides in every single person on this planet. It resides in the animals, the plants, the rocks, the trees, the sky, the air, the earth, the universe, all that is. This inner divine presence that is who each of us is. Whether we acknowledge it or feel it at all times, it doesn't matter. It is there. For each one of us is an expression of the divine. Each one of us unique in our own way. There is no other like us on this planet. There never has. and there never shall be. For each of us is a unique expression of spirit, creating, expressing our love. And so I know that each one of us is embraced in the arms and the love of the divine at all times, no matter what is going on in our individual lives. And I also know that all over this planet, every single person wants to love and be loved. Even in times when it might be difficult for some people to express that, I know it is true at the very center of our being, for that is our nature. Spirits of love. To put the love out and to open our arms and absolutely receive it. From outside to within, from within to outside. And so I acknowledge that beautiful life that is here for each one of us right now. That extends across our planet, even into places where we are experiencing war. It might be in the Ukraine and Russia. It might be in our own soul that we are having the experience of discord, of fear, of war. But that is not who we are. That is what we are experiencing. Because deep inside is that presence, that divine spark that is within each one of us. And so we come together to celebrate this spark, to acknowledge it, and to let it grow in our lives, to let it fill us, to let it be more and more present in our awareness as we open up to that expression, that knowing. And even at times when I don't know it, I know there is something deep inside which, in spite of me, absolutely knows this truth. I am a divine expression of life right here and right now. And so I know that healing is all around all of us. Healing of physical body, healing of mental stress, healing of attitudes, healing of anger, healing of grief. It's all right here for us as we open up to it. For a healing is nothing more than a revealing of the truth. And so, with another breath, I accept all this for myself and for every person in this room, every person on this planet, knowing it's the truth of our being. And with great gratitude for this movement in consciousness, I give thanks and I accept it as truth right here and right now. And so I let it go and I let it be, and so it is.
Good morning. Please stand as you're able and join me in the statement of being, followed by the grace of God. Always suspend one knee up here or face it back. So I would like Thanks, Elise. God is all, both invisible and visible, one presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. We are individualized expressions of God, and are ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance.
So as we bring our consciousness back into this place, and I have a few readings to give to you. And the first one is, and I'm just going to give you the first name because I don't know how to pronounce the last name. And it's Moko Como. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. But anyhow, this person said, some of the best things that have ever happened to us wouldn't have happened to us if it weren't for some of the worst things that have ever happened to us. And then from Yujin Jang, it feels as though the beginning and the end are intertwined, thus leading to a never-ending cycle. Surely this will not be the end, just as it can't be considered the beginning, just as it can't be determined where the beginning or the end is. And finally, from Douglas Adams, I may not have gone where I intended to go, but I think I have ended up where I intended to be. Thank you.
Okay, one more time for the stage singers. Amen. It is so good to hear choral music. Again, isn't it? And this space just makes it all the better. Well, just gonna move one of these right here. Like, I'll get your seats, I'm not gonna say much, tell you. How about we just take a breath? This is it, it's the last time. It has been nearly 10 months since I stepped on this stage back in September. And shared ritual with you all. Oh, I'm gonna try not to cry. Okay. I've been crying a long time, several weeks, all day Thursday. It's been a long time, and it's also been not a long time. I thought we had way more memories together. So be it. The best thing I can do now is accept reality, right? So much of our pain is trying to fight what is happening. So I give you one last message. Take it, don't take it. It's really up to you. It's cathartic for me, so that's good. It's really up to you. It's been up to you the whole time. Take what you need and leave the rest. That's how spirituality works. I will acknowledge this is not the last sermon I'll give. It's just going to be the last one here. So I invite folks to stay connected with me. You can find me through my website. It's really weird starting something though, knowing how it will end. Have you ever done that before? Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's like harder to get through, but in a way there's a beauty with death when you know it's coming. And I'm going to talk a little bit about death today, but mostly about endings and how the ending itself, bless you, can be a blessing. It doesn't have to be something horrible. I love that hymn. I'll just say, literally, it translates as "give us peace." That's what Don't Know These Latin means. And the first time I sang that was on Holy Thursday at Regis University. So shout out to me, like, former Catholics. Never heard that growing up in a New Thought church. And it's so beautiful, so thank you, Sage Singers. Thank you for coming back today and for singing the most perfect song in this space, because we really do need peace, don't we? Not only in Althea, but in the world right now. We really need peace. And I'm hopeful that this can transmute our time together. Jesus said, where two or more are gathered, there is a great power. And look around at a few more than two here. And I know that we can vibrate at that frequency. I know it. All right. So like I already started crying. I just want to say if you cry or if you laugh, or whatever it is, all emotions are valid. Okay? Tell your inner critic to sit down for a few minutes, right? Processing this for me has brought out a lot of sadness, lots of anger and resentment, and then a lot more sadness, and then joy and some optimism too, right? We always have to hold that with us, the peace that surpasses all understanding. I'm tapping into a brain much bigger than mine, right? We do that often to get through things that don't logically make sense. And I encourage us to do that as often as possible, because we're living in a world that doesn't make much sense. I invite you, just like I did last week, to honor your grief today. It often shows up with twists and turns, and sometimes it's really nice to be in a space where we know it's going to happen, so we can walk through this. There's many times in life you don't know it's the end, and it can be jarring. This is not a traumatic experience. We're going to walk through this with grace. Right? I was listening to Hamilton on the way here. One last time. Yeah. Listen to it, it's a great song. It's a great album in general, but you gotta use music, right, to get into the mood, to create the conditions for the transformation to happen. And I'm here today to not just be like, peace out, bye, right? I'm here to ritualize with all of us, to celebrate if that's what needs to happen, to grieve if that's what needs to occur, so that we don't have to go through this alone. It's the least I can do. Y'all have given me so much, so many memories, and I'm grateful for this time with all of you. So grieve, let those emotions flow, whatever bubbles up, it's okay. In our society, I don't know if you know this, we often skip conclusions. Did you know this? Things just end and you're like, wait, what happened? We just totally skip it. We don't talk about it, we don't delve into it, and oftentimes we don't get like these kinds of conversations and time to be together in it, and to just name it. And I think it's incredibly brave to do that. For any of us, I know that it was brave for me to write this sermon. It was hard as hell, y'all. But I need to do it. I need to walk through things. How dare I stand up on this stage and tell you to do anything that I don't do? Can't handle that hypocrisy, right? So some folks know Bruce Tuckman, if you don't, look him up. He created these things called the 5 stages of groups. Maybe you've heard of it. There's forming, right at the beginning. There's storming. It's usually right after a group comes together and they want to fight about stuff, right? Because we need to test the boundaries. We need to learn how to trust each other, to figure that part out, right? Then there's norming. So we create the norms based on the boundaries that were crossed and those that were honored, and we figure out, okay, this is how we work together. And then the 4th stage is performing. You rock it out, you do something. This could be in the corporate world, obviously in churches, really any group that comes together. Families. We storm a little bit of families, right? Just tiny bit. People forget there's 5. People are used to that, right? You perform, you did it, you crushed it. What's the 5th stage? A journey. A journey. We forget that 5th stage. We just want to skip it when we performed. We'll form another group and hopefully not create the same conditions of that other group that we didn't properly end well. It sucks sometimes. That's why we are being intentional today. I'm inviting you into a space to be intentional, to not let this moment pass us by, to stand in it, to let the waves of whatever emotions are happening just wash all over us together. You are safe to emote here. So just allow yourself to do that, to sink into it. It is time, yes, exactly. We're ready. For sure. Let's relish in the adjournment today, like that lovely human, and not waste the medicine of the end. There is actually medicine in this moment. It doesn't have to be a horrible thing that can be cast out. A permaculture teacher of mine I've spoke about before, he's local, wrote a great book. His name is Adam Brock, and he speaks of grief like this. He says, grief is social composting. Grief is social composting. So I invite you into the compost pile. It's nice and stinky in here, but it's full of nutrients, right? It's full of goodness. It makes flowers bloom bigger and squashes fit like wider and all of that, right? We love a good compost. People pay for good compost, and it's happening to us now. So let's really relish in this compost moment, not try to skip it. What happens if we skip it? Anyone leave a compost that you didn't till? It really stinks, and it goes rotten, and it's not good, and you can't use it. And then now you have wasted this awesome ending, and then you don't get the yield. You can't use it for the good stuff later, the yummy stuff. So think about that when you're trying to skip grief. Compost it. All right. It is an active process. So even though we're sitting right now, there will be moments later that you might want to move around. Just move your body. You know that human is. I think we should take a lot of lessons from children. They know how to grieve. They love to cry, right? It's important that we take this moment and move it through our bodies. We activate it. It's active. Grief doesn't just sit there. If it sits there, it comes back again with a vengeance, right? Don't want that. It's up to you. It's your choice. You can move through it or not. There is embodiment, and like Althea's name says, it's Althea Center for Engaged Spirituality. So I invite you to engage your whole body in the grieving process, in the ending process. Whatever you need, do it. There is goodness in death. There is healing, and there is life in what is no longer livable. There really, really is. I've done it over and over again as a chaplain, and I really remembered a lot of those skills this past week because, this thing came up. Have you ever had just a grief day? Just like wake up heavy. Like just the weight of emotion, the weight of the world, the weight of the burden of what's going on right now for you, whatever that may be. I woke up that way a few days ago, and the only cure I knew was nature. That was it. I was like, I gotta find God, and it's not anything close to peace. And I went down to the river by my house, and I wailed, and I cried, and then I danced in the sunshine, and I didn't care who was watching, because grief is too important. Because I didn't want it to stay in there. I didn't want this burden to continue through my day, my week, my life. I know that's not what God wants for me.
So what do you want God to do for you?
What do I want God to do for me?
What do you want God to do for you?
Just exist. I think there's something that God does is that I activate my own awareness into it, right? And that's what the embodiment did.
I think God just love everybody.
I think God does love everybody.
I think He does too, but what are you saying? Because I'm not understanding what you're saying.
That's okay. Just let it wash over you. It doesn't have to be the message for everyone's moment. It's the message for this one. And it's your choice.
You got that right. You got that right. But I do believe in what you say, but I believe in God just like you believe in God. But I mean, we have our ups and downs and everything, but what do you think He really does for us?
I don't think of God as doing for us, but as us, with us, through us. There is no separation of a God out there. There's a God in here, and in each one of you. We can tap into it every single moment. That is our gift, and that is our birthright. That is what God, if anything, has given us that, right? Is the awareness that we can tap into it. And that's what I did outside grieving. And I invite you to do your own process, whatever that looks like for you. If it's crying, outside and dancing, great. If it's meditating, great. If it's yoga, great. Whatever works, you know for yourself. I was reminded in that moment that I had been through much worse. Do you ever have that moment you're like, I can't do it, and you're like, wait a minute, I survived that relationship a decade ago, so I can definitely get through this. Right? There's these moments that we check ourselves for our own wisdom. Look at your own legacy, your own lineage, and go, wait a minute, I know the facts, and the facts are I got this. What? And the facts are I'm not alone in this moment. Because Spirit is channeling through us and giving us this wisdom and giving us this guidance and following our steps and showing us the way every single step. I survived what seems unsurvivable. And I know that each of you have, especially if anyone has come out in this room. It feels crazy in an insane world to be awake and aware, but we have survived. We're in this space. I invite you to ask yourself to think about, what ending did you survive? What ending you didn't think you would?
Survive. What ending do you think we did not survive? I was buried my husband a couple of years ago. So what did I really survive? Since you know everything.
I definitely don't. That's why I'm on the stage. I don't think we should trust ministers who have answers as much as questions. That's why I think it is up to you. And I am very sorry for your grief and for your loss. And there really isn't an answer.
I'm just asking you a question. I buried my gentleman friend for 15 years. What do I really get out of that? I mean, I'm not grieving no more. But I'm just saying, what? I mean, I believe in God and everything and stuff like that. But what? I mean, what?
It's not a one-way street, right? It hurts, and there's no way out of it except for through. Grief is hard. I know what I'm grieving, but you can see that we have other griefs in this room right now. That this long road of humanity and being alive is complicated. And that whatever we think we're going through, it will pass. And then it might come back again. And then it will pass again. And then it might come back again. And each time I believe we do get stronger, we get more aware. We get more connected to our bodies and our wisdom in that moment. So what are you on the other side of now? What did resilience teach you that you can use in this moment? I'm not saying it's over, right? Grief continues, right? It twists and turns, comes back around, loudly, quietly, hauntingly, in the middle of the night, in the middle of a sermon. It doesn't matter, it's there, right? You want it to go away, but it doesn't. It's the radical acceptance. That's the only thing that really just sit with it and process and move it through you. And that will be it. We make it over and over again through because of God, because of the compost. And God is not only in the compost, God is in the new crop, right? I'm not saying just compost forever. I'm saying compost and then use it for the new crop, and then compost that and use it for the new crop. It is the cycle of life. It is not stagnant, right? Grief is a process. Otis reminds me of this all the time. They say, every minute ends, every hour ends, every day ends. And it's true, it's simple, but it's profound. Kids know, because a minute can feel like a day. Or a day can feel like a minute. There's this bird called the ruddy shell duck. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it thinks it's dying every night. And it sings this crazy, like, freak out song. Like, no, the sun goes down. It's like, I cannot. No, they believe, like, when the sun goes down, that's it. They're done. They're dead. Can you imagine? And then they wake up. And they sing this song of, I woke up again. It's a miracle that I saw the sun again. Whatever you think right now as you're watching this sunset, whatever is setting in your life, you will wake up tomorrow. And you will sing this song of celebration and liberation and remembrance of your humanity and your divinity. What if we woke up every morning and acknowledged God, acknowledged the universe, our creator, acknowledge the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it, in every single moment? What if that was the first thing we thought of was, I took another breath. I'm alive for this moment. Even for a moment, maybe if you're hurting really, really bad right now, give one moment to gratitude for this day. one moment that you woke up one more time, just like this bird. And sing your song. What song would you sing in the morning if you woke up like, yeah, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive! Woo! What would you do? It can be sweet, right? You can say, oh, thanks God. But you can be passionate and zesty and full of life and on the edge. Don't let this pass you by just because you're in grief. Be funky with it, be weird, it's yours. Own it, wear it, rock it, right? So today is Pentecost. I didn't know until Friday, because I'm not from that tradition. But Pentecost is Christianity's birthday, yay! Some people are like, I survived it, that is enough. Right? Yes? Okay, some people are like, yeah. It took me a long time to forgive Jesus for something he did not do. We're the followers, right? But this Pentecost literally means 50, because it's 50 days after Easter. So 50 days after Easter, they celebrate a fiery joy. It's all about fire. I thought that was interesting and beautiful. This day, it means liberation. This day, it means I got the good news from God. I woke up again. I would like to share it. I would like to come together as a community and share the good joy and the good news. So I'm going to just share that with you. I don't really practice Pentecost, but I thought it was pretty apropos for today. The flow is not always smooth, as we know, and our founders certainly knew that. If you do not know about this building, it was founded by Nona Brooks, her sisters, and Melinda Kramer. This tradition that we come from is called divine science and is one of the 4 threads of the Newfound movement. I am a unique realization of the founders of Althea. I am a 4th generation member of this movement. From my great-grandmother to my grandmother to my mother to me. I'm the one who went to seminary and became a minister. But it has been passed down. This concept of God as in us, as us, through us, co-creating this world, knowing and activating that power that is not separate from us. So this moment of grief that I'm feeling, I feel it with them too. And the first time I came here, the first Sunday I spoke here, I felt them. These women, who I'm sure were way too loud, who told the truth about spirit. And that's what our founders did. They were loud and proud and audacious, and they created this building that no one said they could. How many religions are founded by women? Like none. I think 3 ever, okay? So you're sitting in a pretty historic place. I felt it so amazing to be called to ministry here, in this building, in this way, in this moment, on the 100th year of this building's birth. That's what called me here to this stage, to these humans. So I just wanted to name that. Because a woman hasn't held the top leadership position here in many moons. And I didn't last very many moons either. So I just want to acknowledge that. I have no idea what's going to happen to Althea in the future, but I pray that women and femmes and trans folks and marginal folks, historically excluded individuals, are held at the center of this evolution. Because we know the truth. We've lived it in the in-between, in the liminal space, and in really hard moments. A wise woman wrote to me last week that the sisters called me here. And I believe that. Maybe not for traditional success, whatever that looks like, but for transformation of myself, of this community. We are different than when we entered, right? On purpose, with purpose. I'm getting clearer by the minute about my transformation, and I wonder what Althea's is. What does Althea's transformation include? What is next for this community, for this building, for this legacy? And really reflect, like I really invite you a little deeper. Like, oh, that's a cute question, but really reflect on the future for this space. And I wonder too what I brought to this space that you will take forward. All of our existences matter, whether you're on the stage or not. Whether you got the mic or not, you matter. And it mattered here, this time, this experience. Often in legacy work, we don't really get to see the seeds planted or the harvest of them, right? We plant the seeds like the women who built this space. Could they have imagined 100 years later, a young, feisty, zesty, awesome minister comes in, that's right. 100 years later. That's amazing to me. I have felt that the whole time here. I feel Nona and her sisters just guiding me through, like their hands every step of the way. If you want to feel their presence, you can go anywhere in this building, but I suggest you check out the quilt on that wall. That quilt was stitched by women and has a bunch of names of people that passed through these doors, that mattered, that meant something, that created this, that we're now able to sit in today. When I first started here, I obviously opened up my new office door and put up some cute things on the walls, right? Well, one thing I found, which was left for me, was a letter from Nona herself. And she wrote it entitled to Friends of 200 Years Hence. She wrote it to us, I mean it's a little early, but I think 100 years is pretty good. I'm not going to share the whole letter. I'm just going to share the very last sentence with you that she wrote. It concludes with, "We clasp hands with you across the centuries and send you our goodwill and our highest blessing." And I feel that, and I know that this ending is part of that blessing. But I feel their goodwill for all of us here in this space and beyond. We are not separate from these women way showers who started this 100 years ago. We're not separate from those who propped us up and helped us many, many, many times on our sojourns. We are not separate. This bootstrap theory that we've taught, just pull yourself up. It's a lie. It's a lie. Nothing is individualistic. It's an American lie. And sometimes it's a new thought lie. But we know that we are nothing without the divine, and we are nothing without community. I pray you all take care of each other with this awareness. Have you heard the term, the African word Ubuntu? It means I am because we are. And I am here because of the women that came before me, that paved the way, that thought a dream that 100 years ago they thought could never happen. And look at us now. It's happening. And it's concluding. So, who's ready for some ritual? Right? Yeah, let's do it. This is the one thing that has mattered to me more than anything, the thing that sparked me years ago when really in seminary. I am a ritual crafter. It is my superpower, and I know that it is part of the reason why I was brought here. I could not leave without doing more ritual with all of you. I'm going to tell you one last time the difference between a ritual and a routine is intention. So be awake, stay awake. This magic needs you. Okay? All right, where are your little colored pieces of paper? All right. So you see your tiny one, the square. You have a square, you have a bigger one, right? Okay. 10 months ago, on my very first Sunday here, I led a ritual. And I asked this question, I'm going to ask you it again. Okay? What is something that you're grateful to Althea for? And write it on that square. What is something that you're grateful to Althea for? Something it's brought you, taught you, transformed in you. If you need pens or stickies, raise your hand and an usher will find you. What is something that you're grateful to Althea for? All right, you have your thing? I'm going to lovingly ask the ushers to pass the basket. And if you could put your blessing from Althea in the basket. Oh, yeah. We'll collect them and we'll show you something at the end. As this basket is passed, I'm going to ask you your second one. You'll have a larger one. Could be orange, yellow, white. Yes? On your larger piece of paper, what is something you're grateful to me for? I want to know as I leave, what is something that you're grateful to me for? Something that I've brought you, or taught you, or transformed in you. So on that big sheet, what is something that you're grateful to me for? Maybe just one more minute and our ushers will collect those two. All right, our ushers are going to come down. And collect those now. And again, if you would like to stay connected after I depart Althea, I don't have a clue what happens next. God does though. But if you want to sign up for updates or stay connected, my website is just my name, katherinenewell.com. I have 3 lessons I'd like to share with you. And then we will hear some more music, hopefully. Gratitude has taught me a lot in this space, so I really hope you hear these lessons. The first one is that God is always present and always for our highest and best. And I know that, especially when times are hard, especially when I'm grieving, especially when things don't make sense. I give it up to God, and I know that God is supporting us for our absolute highest and best. I know that. Second thing I've learned, speak up and speak out. My very first my installation day here, one of the board members said that I was here to teach folks how to be brave. I believe that now more than ever. Even as I exit, I have done tremendously brave things here with all of you. I will say I'm proud of myself for doing that. I can tell you how hard it is sometimes to craft a sermon, to craft an entire service, actually, every single Sunday, to walk up here and to share truth with all of you. It is so scary sometimes. And if you've ever done anything like this, you know the fear that can bubble up. Getting on a stage, in any public forum, and saying truth is hard. I encourage all of you to do it as often as possible. It has taught me so much, and it has healed so much. Lastly, know your worth and dignity. Do not compromise. Spirit flows through you. So it's ridiculous for us to think, yes, Spirit is amazing and you are part of this. You are one with this alignment. Know your worth. Do not compromise on your boundaries. You are worth it. You are worth the no. No is a very powerful word. You are worth the change that you are making in this world. Know your worth. Know your dignity. Do not compromise on that. Endings are part of our life cycle. To grieve is to be literally alive, right? Those who don't grieve are gone. So it's so important to walk through this. To love and to lose something is hard, but it is also a blessing. How we show up matters. And community matters. All of it matters. Even the words, actions, assumptions that were made, they created the conditions for this end. And so even that, I bless this sojourn, or whatever happens next. I honor this ending with grace and intention, and I invite all of you to do the same. The blessings of knowing endings are for our evolution, that God is with us and through us, as us, in every single moment, and that our ancestors are literally sending us goodwill and all of these blessings. Thank you, and so it is. Amen. I only cried like 3 times, so crushed it. You might have thought. Okay, on to the next. You're really good at putting things in the basket now. So I invite you to participate in our offering, of course. Here is our, sorry, I can't even see the Lord. Everything that I do, that I hope is done here at Althea, is a ritual, like I said. So we're going to say this affirmation, a blessing over our prosperity. There's also a QR code on the program. You can donate on our website. You can also donate on the dip jar back there. Hold your gift, your tithe, your prosperity, whatever it may be, over your heart, and say with me, the universe provides all that I need and all that I give. With great joy, I share my prosperity, planting seeds for a world I'm helping manifest. And so it is. Amen. And now our ushers can come forward and collect this. And then we'll do one last blessing. And actually, while we're doing that, if the stage leaders want to make your way on up, that'd be awesome. we do our blessing of the offering. This prosperity goes to the alignment and the realignment of this community. It goes to further prosperity of Althea. It furthers the mission and the vision of this community. I know that this money is used for good, for greatness, for gumption. That's how it is, amen. And now, let's hear again from the sage singers. Also, they're going to lead us in our community songs, so get excited about that as well. In the meantime. All right, there's just a few things left for us today. And the awesome stage singers are just going to stand up here with me. And it actually feels really good to not be alone on this stage, which I encourage y'all to do it. Feels good. Solidarity, right? All right. Next thing we got to do is welcome our new folks. So if it is your first time, raise your hand. One of our ushers will find you. Yeah, go ahead. It's okay. Don't be shy. You have new folks? Yeah, welcome, welcome. Woo! It's a really fun day. We don't always have this kind of I started a little ways back, and it's really good to hear what's on the heart, the minds of our community. So the ushers have mics. You can raise your hand if you want to share something that's on your heart, whether that's something that you're working through or grieving, or whether that's a celebration or announcement.
People of Ukraine, related to the war in Ukraine, and to the war that's going on in the United States, that we produce peace.
Thank you. Ukraine and gun violence, too much violence. Thank you. Others, what's on your heart? I hear you. I'm so glad you're here. It's making it so much better.
Bob had mentioned at the beginning, I don't know if you did turn into this one, but Bob had mentioned at the beginning about the war in Ukraine, the war in this country. I pray that the Althea community heals and deeply reflects on lessons learned and heals through their own things. And I see that and I can visualize that.
Amen. Thank you. Others.
I would come to church 2 Sundays, and then the staff, and I just want everybody to pray for me, so I don't want to get with alcohol. So there is music out there, you know what I'm saying? That is what you guys are praying for me, and I just, okay. So I just want everybody to know that I and do what I love it, it's so worth it. That's how
We'll definitely have that paper list. And to anyone struggling with grief, addiction, anything that's plaguing them, they want to be released from. We hold you in our hearts. We affirm alignment, well-being, and peace. Deep peace. Anyone else? All right. You can submit prayer requests online. I want to just acknowledge that too. Lots of folks like that option, because standing up with a mic in front of a bunch of people is not their jam. That's okay. So please go online if that calls to you. Your prayers matter. We hear you, and we have a team of prayer partners throughout the week praying for you. All right, I have a lot of announcements. First of all, in a couple weeks, on June 26th, the last Sunday, actually Pride Sunday, Greg Wilkins will be back and doing a sound bath here. So get your tickets online for that. Also on Sundays, Matthew Quickly will be doing a 90-minute journey of breathwork, music, and yoga. So definitely check that out. Starts at 2 p.m. on Sundays. And if you came out yesterday and helped to garden and clean up the outside, thank you, first of all. Huge people, thank you. If you haven't seen it, go check it out outside. I bet it's gorgeous. Also, the rain, I'm sure, is helping with that as well. People loved it. They came. They had a joyous time. They want to do it more on a regular basis and with some drumming. So if that calls to you to participate, definitely connect with our volunteer coordinator, Summer, in the back, and you can email her staff at the Althea Center.org. The board is scheduling lots of different people for Pride Month, basically, through June. And next Sunday, they're having, I can't pronounce his name, Puria Mantazira. And they are a Rumi poet and scholar. And the theme is the wise perennial joy. Definitely check that out. Also next Sunday, people are encouraged to attend Barbara Test's Celebration of Life. at the Mercury Cafe, 1 p.m. And then Sunday, June 19th, is Father's Day. Definitely check that out. Greg Roche will be here, laughter and tears, and lots of journeying with the divine masculine. So definitely check that out. Also, on Pride Sunday, Althea stores will be open, so the calls to be here, great. But the majority of Altheans will be marching in the Pride Parade. If you would like to sign up for that, the sign up is actually in the dining room on the corkboard. So please do that. It's been really, really fun, and it's a great way that Althea can participate and be better aligned with our very clear values. Oh, yes, it is too. Thank you. Okay, there's flyers by the doors, but I'm going to read you what this says, so definitely check it out. Aren't they gorgeous? So colorful. Stage singers are performing next Sunday at 3 p.m. at the First Baptist Church, which is right across the street from the Capitol. If you don't know, it's like 14 in Lincoln. So definitely check that out, 3 p.m. You saw just a snippet. Pretty good, huh? I'm sure you got a lot more coming, right? Yeah. So it's important that we support queer folks in all different ways, and especially music. My God, it's the two best things together, you guys. Love it. Okay. Let's see. There is lunch today, and no deep dive, because I'm leaving. Peace out. Just kidding. But definitely check out lunch if you're new. It's free. Yay. And I just thank you all very, very, very much from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my soul, for this experience, to lead you, to walk beside you, to listen to you, to support you, and empower you. I will continue doing that, so if you want to connect with me, please do so. I invite you to do that. I've learned many lessons here, and I'm really, really, really grateful for my time here. I pray that whatever comes next is a blessing for this place and for the founders, for sure. So on that note, I'm going to pray us out one last time. And then if you want to chat at all with me, I will be outside in the portico afterwards. So let's deepen one last time before our community song. And know that we are aligned with the all-creator, the all-container. We serve as vessels. We let this sacred power flow through us, as us, in us, and reminds us of our divinity and our humanity in the same breath. I'm grateful for this community, that it exists. I'm grateful for this building. I'm grateful for the Brooks sisters and Melinda Kramer. I'm grateful for every writer and speaker and dreamer who made this moment possible. I'm grateful for gumption and grit and bravery and activism and a spiritual revolution I know that brews in these streets. We honor the call to the divine. We root in gratitude, and we know the next step to take. With awareness, with alignment, and with a hell of a lot of integrity, I say, and so it is. Amen.
No.
Oh, it slides.